Hello everyone. This is Ziki here, and I hope you're all doing very well. Now, I'm at 2K. I'm here to ask you a question. Have you ever heard of anything called the border Gezi? Anyway, you might have come across that name, but I'm here to tell you that border Gezi program is back. Now, it's now called the Youth Service Zimbabwe, and it's going to be starting on in June of this year. And they said by the end of this year, 2024, they are looking at training more than 10,000 youth. Now, when they're talking about the youth, they're saying, well, they're looking at people between the ages of 18 and 35. So these are the people that are being targeted as the youth. Now, for those of you who might want to recall about the border Gezi, when border Gezi was introduced around the year 2000, things were in the country were a little bit shaky at that time. Remember, that is the time of the land reform program. That is the time of elections. Things were very, very chaotic during that time. Things were really, really tough in the political arena. So that is when the border Gezi program was introduced. Well, it was called the border Gezi because it was initiated by Border Gezi, who happened to be the minister of he was the minister of gender, youth, and employment during that time. So he's the one who introduced this Border Gezi program, or the National Youth Service program, right? And now during that time, again, it was really highly criticized, saying, because like I said, during that time it was a period of a little bit of challenges in the political circles, right? So when it was introduced, some people thought, well, maybe these youth were being traded so that they could harass people, because of elections and everything. So a lot of people had this mixed reaction, mixed feeling towards anyone who was, who was trained under this border Gezi program, under this National Youth Service program. However, personally, I know quite a number of my friends who went via border Gezi during that time. Some of them, after training with border Gezi, they were sent to different universities outside the country. I have quite a number of my juniors in school, some of them, coming from some locality, who became lawyers. They went to Fort Hare using this border Gezi program, because what they did was they would look at someone after the border Gezi, if there are any scholarships that were coming during that time, those with border Gezi certificates were prioritized. Okay, so people apply using that border Gezi thing, and they'll be taken first. So it becomes something like, well, we've heard a lot of stories about this national youth service, but the main purpose of introducing a national youth service program was to make sure that the youth understand what is service when they finally get into the service itself, all right? And also because it was usually after high school, and then after college training or tertiary training, then after that you have to go for your national youth service, and then you go into the service. So they said, well, it was, to teach what do you call it, to love your country, national building, and this and that. But of course, and with any other program, when the political situation of a country is not really proper, there tends to be some other things that overshadows something. Even if it's a good program, it ends up looking like it's a bad program because of the situation that will be happening in that particular country. Now, you already know that the National Youth Service is not only isolated to Zimbabwe. No, many other countries, they have the National Youth Service. I know China, I know Nigeria, they have it. Soon after graduation from university, you need to go via your National Youth Service programs, and then you go into your workplaces. I think Namibia has it, Kenya has it. Many other countries, they do have the National Youth Service programs where youth are taught how to love their country, how to defend their countries, how to work for their countries, and how to offer services, and anything to do with the youth in terms of taking care of themselves and everything else. So this is the main purpose of this National Youth Program. But however, like any other program, there's always a case of infiltration in this. So I wanted to ask my Y2K that, well, if you missed because you were not yet born during that time, during the border Gezi era, because it was introduced in the year 2000, and it came into effect 2001. So along that time, the program was there, but it was changing, changing names, changing this and that. So up until such a time that it was no longer called border Gezi, because, a lot of things had changed during that period of time. So it ended up becoming something. So we used to call them Ama border Gezi, because when they come back from whether you're a girl, whether you're a boy, your hair, you would have bald hair, your head is shaved, and they used to wear all these, those shoes like soldiers, all that kind of stuff, right? That's the kind of shoes that they used to wear. You know how it is. So the one that is coming now, so it's a 6-month program, by the way. It's a 6-month program. Then the first 3 months you are in the institution. The last 3 months you are in service. You are put in communities to work with the different communities where you're going to be posted. This is how it's going to be run. All right. So I don't know, my friend. Let me know what you think. Some of you, us, we are already old. We have already surpassed our youth days, so it really doesn't affect us. But during my time, when I went to college, during my time, if you didn't go for the real program of going into the institution of the border Gezi training, we used to have the programs in the tertiary institutions whereby you have to do your youth service. We used to cut. I remember we used to cut grass. We used to pick up papers in the community, and it would be registered. So that by the time we graduate, we would have done all our youth service programs. In terms of like what I'm saying, going into the communities, working, cutting grass, painting, whatever that needs to be done in communities where we are put, we do all those things, and they will be ticking our names that you have done your youth service, you have done your youth service, so that when you graduate, you have everything. For those who did not do during the studying time, they would have to do it so that it can be put on their register that they did the National Youth Service Program. Okay, so this is just how it was done, but others were really going into the institutions where they had to stay in those colleges and then be trained until such a time then they come back. So those ones were the powerful ones because after training, people were given certificates, they were given certificates that they would, use, and even now it's still relevant. Those people, because it's a very tough training, remember 6 months. I'm not quite sure right now whether how long the police are trained because they used to be trained for 6 months, but right now I don't know. So imagine it's like you're a policeman who has been trained for 6 months. You understand? But it was a youth service program. You see, so it was a very very long thing. Even now, it's a very long thing. 6 months is a very very long time. So that's how the program is. So yes, the National Youth Service is back, and now it is called there Youth Service Zimbabwe YSZ. So it was announced yesterday that is going to be starting. Okay, and yeah, June. They said in June they're going to be having an enrollment of about 750 youth. Like I said, they said they're looking at 10,000 by the year end 2024. This is the number that they are looking at. So this is all I have for you, my friends. So this is a very training story for AMA youth, and they said, well, they're going to be looking at the youth from different provinces. That's how they are going to be taken, different provinces equally taken and then put into this program. I know, like I'm bringing back again what I just said, that during our time, those who went for training, for the border Gezi training during the years, that that time when us we were already old already, but there are some our juniors, our immediate juniors who went for this training. Yeah, they really got places in scholarships to go to study out here. I can tell you names of people who went. We used to say they went to Bodagezi, this and that. I'm a Bodagezi, yeah, 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 this kind of stuff. But when they came back, and we heard that their scholarships coming, they applied, they got places. They are lawyers, most of them. They are lawyers. They're doing this and that. They went to Fort Hare because they had this program. So it used to be like that, during that time. But anyway, so this is all I have for you, my friends. Please subscribe and stay, and I'm going to be back just now with more and more trending stories. I do have a couple of stories that I'm going to be sharing with you, such that because it's been long since I shared videos with you, so I must make sure that you have all the trending stories right now. I'm going to be on holiday for the next 5 days or so we've got plenty of time to share videos. My name is Ziki, and until I come back again, please subscribe and stay so that you don't miss on this anymore. Ta-da!